Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo and Jordy with Backdoor Fantasy Sports, and we've got another Prize Picks video for you. We're going to be talking about the NBA slate on Wednesday, December 20th. We've got 10 games on board, so we should have plenty to work with. This is our first look show. We're going to be just looking for value before some of these lines move. If you have never tried Prize Picks, use our promo code. They'll double your first deposit up to $100. So they're just going to match whatever you put on. So if you do deposit the whole 100, you'll get 200 to play with. Just use our promo code and they'll hook you up with that deal. And if you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. We have this first look show, like I just mentioned, and we also have our daily show that we run Monday through Friday, which we try to get out as early as possible. But like sometimes I think the latest it'll get out is like 2 p.m. Eastern time, sometimes a little bit after that if we're really running late. But we try to get it out between like noon and 2 p.m. Eastern time. It just depends on how the board's populating and what value we're seeing once they're filling the whole thing out on the day. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed and you'll be notified as soon as we put our videos up. And let's get into our recap from the Tuesday slate. To get us, I'll get us started here. So on the first look video from the Tuesday slate, I had Nurkic. Unfortunately, I had his points and rebounds at 25.5. I was excited about this play, man. I felt good about it. He's been playing better lately, and this was a good matchup for him. And we even mentioned, the Suns were favored by 7.5. We talked about how we weren't concerned about a blowout, and we had mentioned that the Suns don't blow anybody out right now. They're not really. They have to figure out who they are, because they end up. I had mentioned they either go to overtime or they blow a big lead, and sometimes even with a big lead they end up losing. Well, they started out hot in this game, and then they just got completely discombobulated, it seemed like. So long story short, Nurk didn't hit his points, unfortunately. His points and rebounds, he cashed his rebounds just barely at the very end. That was a kind of a popular play in our Discord. We had kind of pivoted to just the rebounds because his points and rebounds got bumped a full point up to 26.5, but he didn't even cash the 25.5. So that's a bummer. That's just like, he didn't show up and play that great tonight. And then my other play was Derek White. Took him for over 19.5 points and assists. Derek White hit all of his props today. If he had a block props or blocks and steals, PRA, fantasy score, you name it, the dude just balled out. That was a really fun game to watch. So he cashed for us. So I did not do as good as Jordy. Thank God Jordy pulled the weight for us today, because my plays did not do as well. You want to get into your first look picks, Jordy?
Yeah. So for my first look, I had taken Drew Holiday for over 1.5 blocks and steals, and he ended up going on 2 steals for us, so we hit on that one. And then we took Jeremy Grant for over 24.5 points and assists. I was pretty nervous about this one. We were going into the last minute of the fourth quarter, and he needed another bucket, but luckily he got it for us, so that was pretty sick. And then so we cashed on both of the night ones. And then have you gotten into your day picks yet?
No, let me do mine first so we can end on a high note.
All right, yeah, go for it.
All right, so Jordy got the sweep in the night video, and then in the day video for our daily show, I had 2 busts. One I warned you guys about, but the Zion Williamson pick, I felt really good about that. And then after we put the video out, news came out that he was potentially going to miss the game. He was going to be a game time decision, and he ended up playing. And I was, he started off, he got 2 rebounds right away, and I'm like, oh great, thanks. We dodged a bullet on that. And then he got in foul trouble, and he actually looked good in my opinion. He just didn't end up rebounding that much. The Pelicans look really good right now, in my opinion. I think they're really putting it together. They're a very exciting team. like kind of on the they're like coming up right now, you know. And Zion didn't hit it. You know, he only went for 3 total after getting two rebounds pretty early. I just kept watching that sit at 2. This is just the nature of the game. You know, this is going to happen sometimes. We go on runs and then we go. Sometimes you miss for a while, but the whole point is when it's hot, you make up for the losses. And I mean, we're already up on the year. We've had a couple good runs that we're still kind of ahead on. So this was just not a good night for me. It was a good night for Jordy, but and then we had the Giannis Antetokounmpo free throws prop that I warned you guys. this was one that was a little spicy. I hope most of you faded it if you didn't feel good about it. My biggest concern was blowout. That really wasn't the case. Yeah, they ended up winning by a large margin, but it wasn't like your typical blowout where he got benched. This was Giannis decided to go against a team that's allowing 24 free throws made per game. I'm sorry, not made, attempted per game. It was such a good matchup, and he decided to break his career high for assists, and he went for 16 assists. I was watching him the entire game. He's just like crashing the paint. I'm like, here it comes. And then he just kept dishing it out, and everybody was scoring. Dame went for 40 points tonight. Like, I think, what's his name? Who's that? Their other center.
Bobby Portis.
Yeah, Portis. He had a big game too. Giannis he had 16 assists. He broke his record. So Giannis went for 11 points, and 2 of those were free throws. So anyways, guys, I was worried that this wouldn't hit. I was rolling the dice on it, but I wasn't expecting it to play out this way. So thank you, Giannis, for choosing to pass more than ever in your life tonight. Anyways, let's get into Jordy's picks that actually did cash.
Yeah, I wanted to mention too, like, most of these plays that we're taking, like, we look at almost every pick on the board. Like, I can promise you that we stay up so late some nights. Like right now, it's already 2:20 Russo's time, so it's like we're up late. We look at this board with like a fine comb, and sometimes we just don't like the matchups. Like Bobby Portis last night was a minus 135 to go under his points. He crushed it today. Yeah. So it's like sometimes we just don't like the matchups, so we're not going to take it. Like people are like, oh, you guys didn't take Ja Morant. It's like, would you have taken Ja Morant in his first game back? Like if you did, I mean, congratulations, because he hit on everything. But it was just a risky play when there's better things out there, right? So it's like, you know, well, it looks like on the board sometimes. Sometimes I think the same thing, and I was on a pretty bad streak for a little bit with like some of my stuff, and then I was like, you know, I can't get mad at it. Like the Jabari Smith one from like 2 videos ago. It's like you can't be mad at a pick like that because he had 7 rebounds in 23 minutes. If he would have just gotten his playing time, he would have been fine. So it's like some things just don't pan out. Like the Giannis one tonight, he just was an assist monster. He turned into Tyrese Halliburton. So that was a crazy game. And yeah, I don't know. That was bizarre. But so yeah, to get into my recap for the day video, I took Zach Collins. I really liked this matchup. And, you know, I kind of let you guys know the stats. Like when Zach Collins gets starting minutes, he's very good. I think he could be a starting center somewhere. You know, he's just a great player, and he plays almost like a power forward. I know he has played power forward before while Wemby's in. So, you know, he's kind of like a center / power forward before you guys get on me about that one. But, so I took him for over 12.5 points, and he went for 22. He had a big game. I was really happy with that. And then I took Valanciunas, man. I love Valanciunas. I've been taking this guy's props like so many times, and I think he's hit for me every time I've taken him. And I just like I said, I like Valanciunas, but I'm not going to take him in every matchup. There's some matchups that are better than others. This was a good one for him. I took his rebounds to go over 11.5, and he went for 14. So the matchups just play out the way you want sometimes. Sometimes it could be juiced to a minus 160, and he goes for like 2. You just don't know. So
yeah,
it just happens.
Yeah, it happens. And I mean, at least with the Giannis one, I let you guys know right out of the gate. It's like, hey, I'm warning you guys, you might not want to take this. That's just what I was feeling. And sometimes you got to just go with your gut. And the narrative was there. Like that was a perfect matchup for him to just destroy them in the paint. But anyways, yeah, let's let's get into our plays. All right, so before we get started, I just want to thank you guys for all the likes and the comments and everything. It's really been helping us hit numbers we haven't hit yet since we started this channel, and it's increasing our reach a lot. So if you guys don't mind, if you appreciate what we're doing here, if you could just go ahead and like this video, it really does help a lot. It's helping us grow our channel. It's been awesome. All right, so my first play is going to be a points and rebounds prop. And I'm going to be taking Michael Porter Jr. to go over 20.5 points and rebounds here. Now I know it looks like he hasn't been hitting this that often. He's only gone over it twice in the last 3 games, but he's actually gone over it 6 out of his last 10 games. So I'm liking him to go over in this. If we take a look at the matchup here, sorry, that's not the matchup. Let's look at his on his last 10 games statistically. He's averaging 31.3 minutes per game with 15.7 points and 8 rebounds a game. So if he just hits his averages, he's going to cash this for us already. And then when we do look at the matchup, Toronto's allowing on average to small forwards 23.5 points per game and 7.1 rebounds per game. So those 2 indicators are looking good. And then the over-under is 229.5 with the Nuggets favored by 5 points. So we don't have to be too concerned about a blowout, but we do have Aaron Gordon questionable for this game. He's dealing with, I believe they said it's like an injury to his right heel. And so it's been still giving him issues. And so he might miss the game. If he does play and he's still dealing with that, though, you can't really perform at 100% if you're dealing with soreness in your heel the way he's been, like if it's enough to affect you and maybe make you miss a game. So I think MPJ is going to be relied upon a little bit more in this. When we look at Toronto, they're kind of middle of the road with points allowed and rebounds allowed. They're 15th on points allowed and 16th on rebounds allowed. So they're not any big threat to keep him from doing this. So I like him to go over in this one. Yeah, and so if we hop over to the daily grind and take a look at what they're showing for this, they've got this at a 52.5% chance of hitting the over. Their odds for it are a -130. We got BetMGM at a -125 and Caesars at a -125 as well. So it looks like the odds makers are favoring this for the over as well. So that kind of confirms the narrative we're building here with this one. And so yeah, I'm going to be taking the over here on MPJ to go over 20.5 points and rebounds. And then my next play is also going to be a points and rebounds play. And I'm going to be taking, is he up here? Yeah. I'm going to be taking Brandon Miller to go over the same type of prop. But his is only at 19.5. For one, I just want a piece of this game. Anytime you have a team that is capable of scoring the ball and they're playing Indiana, that's going to be a great game for DFS. We do have blowout potential here. It's a 249 over under with the Pacers favored by 10 points. But I do think that since he's the rookie and he's still developing his game, I think he's going to be able to hit this. I don't think his minutes will be too low if they end up getting blown out a little bit by the end. But I think Charlotte's going to be able to, especially if Gordon Hayward is actually able to play. I know he's dealing with a little bit of an illness. If he's able to play, I think that they're going to be able to keep up at least through 3 quarters, enough time to get Brandon Miller to hit this. If we look at what he's been doing over his last 10 games, we got just under 35 minutes a game, 16.2 points per game, and 4.1 rebounds per game. So that's kind of right on the line we're looking for. We need him to go for 20. He's averaging 20. And if we look at the matchup, also small forwards, Indiana's allowing 26 points per game and 8.3 rebounds per game. So we love this matchup. I'm gonna hop over to the daily grind real quick. All right, and so over here on their DFS optimizer, they've got this scored even higher than MPJ. This is 53.68% chance of the odds to hit indicator to go over. Their odds on it are a -137. And that's because BetMGM and Caesars actually has this line at 20.5. So they've got it just barely favoring the under. It's because these odds makers, when they're dialing in their numbers, they actually get it right down to the exact number they think it's going to be. And if it's slightly over that, you start to see the odds slowly favor the under. But I'm going to be taking this play. I'm feeling good about it, especially in a matchup against Indiana. So yeah, those are the two I'm rolling with for first look. What do you got for us, Jordy?
So to get me started here, I know that's like my new coined little phrase that everyone's talking about, but so yeah, to get me going, let's see, I'm gonna be taking I'm gonna go with a points and assist prop here. I'm going to be taking Julius Randle in this matchup against Brooklyn. It is a tough matchup, but I think, it's Julius Randle. We've seen him just going nuts all year long, and he's been super awesome. They had a day off last night against that big game against the Lakers, so he's going to be kind of fresh coming into this game with Brooklyn. If we look at his last 10 games here, I mean, what's not to like about what you're seeing? He's just been fantastic. He's getting 36 minutes, averaging 27.3 points and 5.3 assists. So all the indicators we're looking for here. And one of my favorite things about him is that there's games where he gets into like double-digit free throw attempts, where he gets fouled a lot. I mean, when he's really trying to play in the paint, he gets fouled a lot. And then sometimes when he's shooting more from the outside, he doesn't get as fouled as much. But I love this guy, and I think he's gonna have a good matchup ahead of him here. It's gonna be a tough one. If we look at what Brooklyn's giving up to power forwards here, they're giving up 22 points and 3.7 assists. But this is Julius Randle. This isn't your average power forward, and I think they've only played them maybe once this year, if at all. I really didn't look that up, but I think this is gonna be a good matchup for him, so I like him to go over this one. If we look over here on the daily grind, they've got his points and assists. Let's see here. Okay, his points and assists are at minus 135 with DK, and then Caesars and MGM have it at a minus 125 with a 51.83% chance to go over. So I like it. I mean, to me, the points and assist prop is one of my favorite ones to play, just because with a guy like him, especially, who can get this in just points alone, but you get a guy who's getting 5.3 assists per game, it just gives you more of an edge to go over that. And, it's kind of like the Jeremy Grant thing. Like, he's just a great scorer, but those assists just push him over the edge sometimes. So I like him to go over this, and I'm not going to talk too much more about him there. And then for my next pick here, this one kind of has an asterisk on it, just because I'm going to take Gordon Hayward to go over his 16.5 points here. I say that because he has been sick, and he missed the last 2 games with a stomach flu. But everything I've looked up a couple different things, and they say he is probably going to play. They say he's leaning more towards playing. He got like hydrated up, and he felt good in the last game, but they didn't want him to play the last game, so they held him out. So I like him in this game. I think he'll definitely play. If not, you guys can fade this if you want. I totally understand. But I'm going to be rolling the dice on it in some lineups for sure. If you look at his last 10 games, man, he's been amazing for the Hornets. He can get this done in points too. We're taking his points. I don't know why I said that. But he's been fantastic. I love watching him with the Hornets. It's good to see him getting these starting minutes. He's averaging 32 minutes and 15.4 points a game. His 15.4 points a game come from some random little games he had down here early in his 10-game stretch where he really started to take off. So just for the sake of it, I'm going to type in his last 8 games and see what we got for his average here. It puts him at 17.5 points. So it's crazy how much 2 bad games early before he really got going can make a difference with his averages. So 17.5 is already over this line. I think if he's confirmed that he's going to play, this is going to get bumped. I think it's going to get bumped anyway. So try to snag this at 16.5 if you're going to take it. If you look over here on the daily grind, this is super juicy. They've got it at a 53.38% chance to go over, with a minus 140 for DK and a minus 130 for BetMGM. And BetMGM has been awesome. I think they're probably, like we've said a million times, they're by far our favorite odds makers. I think they're the most accurate. I would put them and Caesars right in there. But even DG, their odds maker, is pretty good too. So I like this one. I think he's got a good matchup here. If you look at Indiana against small forwards, this is a really, really good matchup for him. Indiana's giving up a whole ton of points. They're the fifth worst here, fourth worst, giving up 23.4 points a game to small forwards. So he's got a really good matchup if he plays. I know a lot of people have been talking about Miles Bridges too, so maybe you can look into that if he doesn't play. But for tonight, I'm going to say go with Gordon Hayward, and that's the two I've got.
All right, guys. So yeah, these are the four we're going to be rolling with for first look. The board will be more populated tomorrow for the daily show, and we'll have at least 4 more picks for you. But we're feeling good about these. It's been a late one. We kind of like both feel like just a little bit loopy and out of it, but we're excited about these plays though. If you're interested in checking out the Daily Grind DFS optimizer that we use, we've actually partnered up with them, and they're giving our viewers 25% off their first month. You can just use code BACKDOOR, it's just one word, and use that at checkout, and they'll hook you up with that discount. And there's a link in the description of the video if you're interested in checking that out. We love it. It's been a game changer for us, saves us a lot of time, and they're really awesome people over at the Daily Grind. So check that out if you're interested. And and if Discord is your type of thing too, our community's awesome. Check that out as well. There's a link in the description of the video as well for our Discord. And cool, guys, have a great night. We're going to go get some sleep, and we're looking forward to being fully energized and grabbing some coffee and hitting you with some good picks tomorrow for the daily show.
Good luck, guys.